We're scraping the concrete for the foundation and the frame, and y'all are talking about the curtains in the second bedroom. What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the Macro Hour with Nikkiey Stott, co-founder and brand personality of WarriorBabe, where we talk about mindset, methodologies, and tactics that will help you lose body fat, build muscle, be strong, and feel insanely confident. I am your host, Nikkiey Stott, and welcome to today's episode number 26. We're going to deep dive into some mindset stuff again today, you guys. This is one of my favorite topics to talk about. And so today it's going to be about the fast way or the forever way. Which path do you choose? I feel like I'm in the Matrix, the blue pill or the red pill? Which path are you going to choose? We can do it the fast way, or we can do it the forever way. And AKA, what I mean by that is quick results or sustainable results. Now, let's first talk about the forever way. And here's what it looks like in terms of results. It's going to take you a long time. And you may not get the results right away, but they are going to be permanent. They're going to be permanent. And I say this because I'm literally on the other side of it. And you won't have to keep hiring different coaches. You won't have to keep hiring different things. You won't have to keep hating on yourself. Your results will be positively permanent in the forever way. Okay, because it's all about permanent when you learn to make it a lifestyle. That's what I talked about in last week's podcast, right? You get down to the layer of the onion where it is a part of your identity. That is the forever way. So for the sake of it taking a while to get these types of sustainable results, do not expect to lose a pound for maybe a while. Don't expect to go from 0 to 10 in 2 weeks. You know what I mean? Like if you're somebody who's just starting out, don't expect to be, tracking macros like a genius by 2 weeks. Okay? Don't expect to lose 50 pounds in 2 weeks. Don't expect to lose 5 pounds in 2 weeks. All right. This is how you go about the forever way. Set specific expectations in this way for yourself. What better systems do you need to put into place to get you to the goal? What bad habits need to be broken and what new habits need to form? That's a specific expectation. So going back to the example of macronutrients, 0 to 10 in 2 weeks is like you expect to go from 0 to being the best damn macro tracker in the game in 2 weeks, but you probably never tracked macros before. So is that realistic? Absolutely not. So a realistic expectation for yourself is like, okay, what's a better system that I need to put into place to be better at tracking macros? What's a bad habit that I need to eliminate that maybe it's like getting rid of all of the things that are in your place that don't serve you in terms of food, throwing it out. And then what is a new habit that you can do, which bringing in better food that's going to help you get to the goal of tracking macros, right? It all starts with the food that you're eating, and then it starts with tracking, and then it starts with being a macro genius. It's like, don't expect to go from 0 to 10 in 2 weeks. Okay. Losing weight. What's a specific expectation, a realistic expectation that you can put into place for yourself where it's a system, like it's like waking up earlier to go get my workout done or having 10K steps in my day, right? It's not going to go from 0 to 10 in 2 weeks of losing from 50 pounds and losing that all in 2 weeks, or even from 5 pounds and losing it in 2 weeks. It's like, what's a system? I talked about this in one of the earliest episodes of the podcast. What is a system? Stop focusing on all these goals, right? Being the best macro tracker in the game or losing 50 pounds or all of these things that are goal oriented. Focus on bettering the systems and putting better systems into place that will help you to form new habits that will be a realistic expectation for you to expect in a 2 week period, right? That's more realistic for you to focus on than getting lost and needing to reach the end point faster. Okay. And like, here are some other examples. So like, yeah, you're not going to lose 10 pounds in the first 2 weeks, but are you squatting 5 pounds more than you were 2 weeks ago? Like, that's a huge win. That's something that's an expectation that you can say, I'm going to lift 5 pounds heavier than my squat here this week. And in 2 weeks, I want to put 5 pounds more on the bar. That's great. That's a solid expectation for you to set for yourself. More realistic, right? Maybe you're working towards pull-ups and maybe you can't do a pull-up now, but maybe a realistic expectation for you is like maybe in 6 months, I'm going to do a pull-up, right? Or maybe you fumble with tracking macros in the first week, but you optimize your systems to be better. And now you feel like you're getting better and faster with it. And the whole tracking method and the whole tracking process, you're planning ahead. You're putting the meals inside of your logging device, MyFitnessPal, and then you're actually following through and eating those meals, right? Or your sleep is getting better now after 2 weeks. Maybe you had shit sleep, and that's something that you want to set a realistic expectation for yourself of putting all of these other things into place. And now your sleep is better after 6 months, right? Or you lay out, this is a great system, guys. Maybe you don't drink enough water and you need to like lay out your water jug so that it's at night, you put it on the counter. So that's the first thing that you see in the morning and you fill it up and you drink more water now because of that. That's a system, y'all. That's something that and there's a realistic expectation. You're not a good water drinker. And so you want to get better at drinking water because you understand the importance of it. And so you put this system into place. And now 2 or 3 weeks later, you're drinking enough water and you're drinking the water that you should be drinking, right? There's so many other realistic expectations and like systems and like you can put into place other than I want to lose weight. Or, I want to go to 0 to 10 in 2 weeks. Like I want to change everything that's not working now. And I want to be that different person in 2 weeks. Like that's just not realistic. For some of you, maybe you can do that. But for majority of you guys, you probably cannot do that. So set more realistic expectations for yourself. Okay. So diving into more of like the fast way or the forever way. And I want to use this analogy with you guys. And I want you guys to paint this picture in your head. And I want you guys, I think you all can agree that the foundation and the frame of a house is like the most important part of a house. Am I right? I think you guys can totally agree with me on that for you homeowners or even people that know that the foundation, the frame of a house is the most important part of the house. If you didn't have that, if you didn't have the beams running through it, it would probably fall down and collapse. Right? So if we're building your dream home, if you're building your dream mansion, we can agree that the foundation and the frame is the most important part to sustain forever, right? Right. So now I want you to think that this house is your body. So when you're asking, or thinking, when am I going to lose these 5 pounds or when am I going to look like this? I know some women ask our coaches this in the WarriorBabe VIP program. And I've had clients ask me this too that I've worked with previously. It's the first couple of days of working with them, when am I going to lose 10 pounds? When am I going to look like this? And no joke, you guys, I joke about it now and I've joked about it with our community. It's us coaches are over here. We're scraping the concrete. We're making sure it's perfect. We're making sure that your workout program is in alignment with your lifestyle and your goals. Your macros are where they need to be. And you're over here talking about the fucking curtains in the second bedroom. Hello, Karen, we aren't even there yet. Literally, that is me painting this picture for you. Y'all are where, when am I going to lose the 5 pounds? When am I going to look like this? And us coaches are over here and we're trying to put the program together for you, trying to put the macros together for you. And y'all are talking about these curtains. We're trying to lay down we're scraping the concrete for the foundation and the frame. And y'all are talking about the curtains in the second bedroom. Hey, just want to drop a huge appreciation to you guys listening to the show. It means a lot. I hope you guys are enjoying it and there's so much more to come with it. If you are enjoying it, hit the subscribe button. I'd appreciate that tons. And also, it would help this podcast reach others who need to hear these messages too. Thanks so much, guys. Let's get back to the show. And sure, we can totally talk about when you're going to lose the pounds. We can talk about that all that you want. We can spend time and energy on that. We can go buy the coolest curtains in the freaking world, but literally none of that shit matters, you guys, if you don't build the foundation correctly first. The coolest curtains, the most expensive curtains for the second bedroom don't matter if you don't lay down the proper foundation that's going to get you the sustainable results first. And that is something that's sustainable for you, uniquely, your lifestyle, your body, putting that into place and following it consistently. It's like, when am I going to drop dropping the 5 pounds of body fat is correlated to you speaking about the curtains in the next bedroom, when you should really be paying attention to following the plan consistently, because that is literally the hardest thing for women to do, or for anybody to do, is to consistently follow through on a program. I know a few winners that do it, but like majority have the hardest time doing that. And like, your body is no different. We have to lay this solid foundation down first. We have to lay down the solid habits. That's what this foundation is. It's habits, it's systems, and you have to take your time with it. It's developing the systems of how you can plan your day better. It's developing the systems of waking up and drinking your water. It's those habits and consistently compounding them every single day over time, to where now the foundation is so strong, the frame is so strong, right? And like, that's what us coaches are trying to do for you. That's a part of scraping the concrete, is helping you to form better habits and better systems to lay down and make that foundation solid before we worry about the exact timeline of your journey. I only get to like exact timelines of journeys when I know the women's metabolism that I am working with, and I can predict the next steps of what's going to happen. And literally, you guys, all the good coaches out there know that everybody's metabolism changes every single time that you go through a cut, a maintain, or a surplus. No single-handedly time is exactly the same. For example, I have one of my clients that I still work with. I only work with like 4 or 5, and she is going into a cut right now, and her macros are completely different than where they were the last time she went into a cut. Okay. So like, you have to, that is a point of which, you know, I can speak to timelines, but at the beginning of this, we ain't worried about timelines. We're worried about getting these solid habits down and in place for you, so that you can build a sustainable trajectory for you and your results and make it something that is of a lifestyle for you. Let's focus on building that foundation first and not worried about the curtains in the second bedroom. Dude, once you get that, you guys, oh my God, a whole new world opens. We can focus on different goals. Like I just said, like, you want to lose 20 pounds and 5% body fat? Cool. Awesome. Let's do it. You built the solid foundation of understanding what it takes with the habits and the systems and the consistency to do that. Let's lose the 20 pounds. Let's lose the 5% body fat. That's a great focal point for you. But if you ain't there yet, and the majority of you are not, your main focal point is consistency. It is laying that foundation down. That's the forever way. Fast way is like, and you guys can go down the fast way if you want. The fast way is like, all right, plan, here we go. I'm losing my 10 pounds in 4 weeks. And you do it. And then all of a sudden, you're back to square one. That's the fast way. You just keep repeating that process over and over and over again, you guys. Have at it. Be stuck for 20 years, right? Or do this. Do the forever way. Please, everyone, please go down the forever way. Okay? A whole new world opens. Once you have the foundation, the concrete set, the frame set, foundation set, you can talk about, you want to lift 500 pounds off the floor? Cool. Let's program your workout program to do that. You want to look like a bikini model? Cool. Let's do it. You want to compete? Cool. Let's do it. We can talk about all of these goals and chasing after all of these goals for days, because you get it. You get it. You get what's going to make you accomplish that goal, because you've set the foundation, you've set the habits in place, you've set the systems in place, right? You've laid down a solid foundation. You've done all of the hard work, but you have to do that first. You have to do that first, or else you are going to be on that hamster wheel of losing the same 10 pounds over and over and over again. Your foundation is not solid. It is bumpy. All right? And guess what, guys? Guess what this calls from you all? This calls on a lot of patience. Like, it calls on a lot of patience, and it calls on a lot of consistency. But the reason why you aren't consistent is because you don't have patience. For a lot of people, it's a lack of patience that's the issue in getting results and properly laying that foundation down. You give up on your diet and training before even giving your body the chance to respond and change. Yeah. Just because you didn't lose weight for a week does not mean that you are not making progress. Focus on developing sustainable habits and putting those proper systems in place that lay down a strong ass foundation and framework for yourself. Focus less on how long things are going to take or are taking and more on what you are doing daily to better yourself. Because if you don't see a weight loss of 3 pounds in a week, majority of people give up and think it doesn't work. You give up way before you even give your body a chance to respond. And then just because you didn't lose this weight in 1 week or 2 weeks, you think you're not making progress. That is so far from the truth. That doesn't mean you aren't making progress at all. You don't have to be perfect to lose fat, you guys, and to build muscle and to gain confidence within yourself, to get stronger and create a healthy lifestyle. But what you do need and what you need to build on is your patience muscle. And most important, you need to be consistent. The reason why your foundation is so rocky and you're the one that's losing the 10 pounds over and over and over again is because you have been impatient with results or you have been inconsistent with the current program that you're following. And so there's no strong foundation set. You need to be consistent. You need to be patient. You need to be consistently active. You need to be consistently trying to build new habits. You need to be focusing on better systems within those habits. You need to optimize for the better. You need to make better food choices. You need to consistently track your macros. You need to consistently be kind to yourself and watch a narrative that you're speaking to yourself in your own mind. You need to consistently make yourself and your goals and these systems a priority. Point blank, end of story. Consistently perfect your framework and foundation. Consistently optimize for the better. You guys have heard me say that in previous podcasts. If you haven't listened to previous podcasts, go back and check them out because there are just as much gold in this podcast as there are in all of the other podcasts. You need to consistently perfect your framework and foundation. You need to consistently perfect all of the habits that you're trying to build. You need to consistently optimize. And you know what? I shouldn't say you need to be perfect because you will fail, like I mentioned before. You will hit some roadblocks, but what are you doing to make it better? Are you allowing the roadblock or the speed bump to slow you down even more and you're falling back in old habits? Or are you switching the narrative and are you getting back to your plan the next day? Not waiting for another Monday. I mean the next day. Right? And as you develop more of this, you'll be able to switch it within a matter of hours. All right, guys, I promise you guys, after years of putting in this type of work to lay down a very strong framework and foundation for yourself, physically, mentally, but most importantly, mentally, if you can do that, you will be in a position where maintaining your body is so freaking easy. And again, like, I can speak to this from experience. Like I'm literally saying to you guys from the other side, holding my hand back, reaching out for you all and wanting to pull you my way so that you understand this. Okay, because I'm there. Maintaining my body super easy. I've laid down my framework. I got steel beams running across my body, my house. And I'm able to do this because it's a part of my lifestyle. I've sustained it. It's sustainable for me. And I want you guys to have it too. And you can have it too, right? I don't have to fight to keep up with it. I don't have to, if I have one day falling off, it's like I get right back onto it. I can intuitively eat. I can have no major regression in my body comp. But getting there has taken years of this type of effort that I'm sharing with you right now, that you have the choice and the opportunity to start putting it into place faster than having it to take years. You have this information. Your awareness is on this right now. You can literally put this into play immediately. The choice is up to you though. And the choice is up to you is if you want to continue down the path of quick results or if you want to go down the path of sustainable results. If you want to go down the path of fast results or if you want to go down the path of forever results. The choice is up to you. I leave the question for you to answer. All right, guys. And for this podcast, stay the course. Do the work, build the solid foundation and be patient. But most importantly, The first thing that you should be focusing on is your consistency within laying down the solid habits, systems, and foundation for the framework of what you're going to be following to achieve the results that you want. Without consistency, you're going to have a bumpy foundation. Once you know what consistency feels like and you're getting results from that, then you're going towards a path of smoothing out your beautiful framework, your beautiful frame of the house, the foundation of the house. And now we're talking about sustainability and doing this, maintaining your results forever. All right, guys. So that's just my little spiel. I'm talking about quick results or sustainable results, fast results or forever results. Let's all be on the forever train. Choo choo. All right, guys. I hope you enjoyed this podcast, guys. Please, it would mean the absolute world to me for if you guys just took like 10, not even like 3 minutes of your time to click out of this podcast, find the review and rate section, rate it, and write like a 2-sentence, 3-sentence review on how you feel about this podcast. I would so appreciate that so much. It's the only way this show grows. I'm not running ads to this. I'm not doing anything special to run this show. You guys make this show grow. Okay, so I appreciate so much for that rate review, because when you guys do that, every single time you do that, there is a more likelihood that this podcast will be put in front of somebody else who may be in the same shoes as you or was in the same shoes as you, and it could help them. And that's what I want to do this podcast for, is just help reach as many women as possible, hear this message, and in some way or another, I hope that their whole journey gets changed by these messages here on the podcast. And you guys can help do that. So appreciate y'all. I'll see you in the next podcast. Real quick, the only ask I could ever have of you guys is to help spread the word so we can help more women lose body fat, build muscle, reach their goals, and feel insanely confident. And the only way we can do that is if you rate, review, and share this podcast. So the single thing I ask for you to do is if you could leave a review. It will take you 10 seconds, and it will mean the absolute world to me and may change the world of someone else.